The moment Grandma placed the finished blanket into young Leo's arms, it felt like receiving a piece of her heart. Stitched with love, she hadn't just knitted it. She had woven into its soft blue and silver yarn countless hours of quiet humming, whispered stories by the firelight, and the gentle rhythm of her clicking needles. "This isn't just wool, my little star," Shed murmured, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "It's spun from hugs. Every stitch holds one I've saved for you, for whenever you might need it." Leo buried his face in its incredible softness, inhaling the comforting scent of lavender and wool that would forever remind him of her embrace. It felt warm, alive almost, a tangible shield against the world's little shadows. As the years unfolded, the blanket became Leo's steadfast companion, a silent witness to his childhood's triumphs and trials when thunderstorms rattled the windows, transforming the familiar room into a landscape of terrifying booms and flashes. Leo would cocoon himself tightly within its folds instantly. The fierce noise seemed muffled, replaced by a remembered sensation. Grandma's arms around him, her voice steady and low, promising safety. It dried tears after scraped knees and bruised feelings. Its familiar texture a soothing balm against his cheek on lonely nights when his parents worked late. Wrapping the blanket around his shoulders felt like Grandma was sitting right beside him, sharing the quiet. It was his fortress, his comfort, his constant reassurance. Grandma moved into a cozy cottage near the woods when Leo turned 10, and the blanket became their shared language across the distance. He brought it faithfully on every weekend visit. They would sit together on her old floral sofa, the blanket spread across both their laps like a shared secret, while she told tales of mischievous forest sprites or read chapters from thick, adventure-filled books. Leo noticed, even then, how her hands, once so deft with the knitting needles, now sometimes trembled slightly as she smoothed the familiar wool when winter chills crept into her little house. Leo would carefully tuck the blanket around her thin shoulders, feeling a profound sense of purpose in returning its warmth to its creator. Her smile, then, was brighter than the fire crackling in the hearth. Adolescence brought its own storms. Anxieties about school, the confusing sting of friendships fraying, the restless yearning to be understood. Often, Leo found himself retreating to his room, the weight of the world heavy on his shoulders. He would pull the now slightly faded, lovingly worn blanket from its special drawer and wrap it around himself, pressing his face into its familiar softness. He could almost hear Grandma's voice, calm and unwavering. "This too shall pass. My star, you are stronger than you feel." The accumulated comfort of 1,000 remembered hugs seemed to seep into his bones, steadying his breath, quieting the frantic buzz of his thoughts. It was a silent anchor in the turbulent sea of growing up time. However, moved relentlessly, Grandma grew frilier. Her vibrant stories became softer, her steps slower. During her final illness, Leo spent every possible moment at her bedside. In the quiet hospice room one afternoon, the light outside was pale and cold. Grandma seemed smaller than ever under the crisp hospital sheets. Seeing her shiver slightly, Leo didn't hesitate. He unfolded the precious blue and silver blanket, now thinner in places, its edges gently frayed from years of love, and draped it over her with infinite tenderness. Her eyes, clouded with pain, suddenly cleared. A look of profound recognition and peace washed over her face as her thin fingers traced a familiar cable stitch. "My hugs," she whispered, her voice a fragile thread. "You kept them all safe." She closed her eyes, a small, contented sigh escaping her lips, her hand resting on the wool after Grandma Euro's peaceful passing. The blanket held a deeper resonance, a sacred weight. It wasn't just fabric. It was a vessel brimming with her enduring spirit, her unwavering love, the very essence of her comforting presence. Leo kept it close, not hidden away, but folded neatly over the back of his favorite reading chair. On days shadowed by grief or uncertainty, he would wrap it around his shoulders, drawing strength from its silent history. The scent of lavender had long faded, replaced now by the gentle aroma of his own home. Yet the profound sense of solace, of being held by 1,000 hugs spanning decades, remained as potent as ever. It was a living connection years later. On a hushed evening filled with the same kind of soft anticipation Grandma used to create, Leo gently placed the blanket into the arms of his own newborn daughter. Ilara, her tiny fingers instinctively curled into the familiar wool. "This," Leo whispered, his voice thick with emotion as he smoothed the soft blue and silver folds around her, "is the most special blanket in the whole world, little one. Your great-grandma made it with love. Stitch by stitch it held hugs for me when I was small. Just like you." He traced the cables his grandmother Euro's hands had formed, the same ones his daughter now unknowingly grasped. "And now," he murmured, kissing Ilara's downy head, "it holds 1,000 hugs for you. 2 for always, the legacy of warmth, woven decades ago with patient hands and boundless love, settled softly around the newest generation, promising comfort through all the nights and storms yet to come."